I haven't done one of these in a while, and I figured this week would be best, being that, before you even blink, October is going to be over. We're going to be heading into November. We got Xbox One, PS4, Call of Duty Ghosts, Battlefield 4, and everything else coming out. And I'm going to have all my concentration mainly on that, okay? And there's not going to be a lot of time to do anything else because I want to give you guys the best content that I possibly can. And I want to build off Black Ops 2 and bring you guys everything that I was doing with Black Ops 2 in Call of Duty Ghosts. And I love entertaining you guys. I love the quality of the videos that I put out on a weekly basis. I love making you guys laugh. I love making you guys smile. And, I have a good relationship with everybody listening to me, I believe. And I also love doing sit-down personal commentaries with you guys because it gives me a chance to open up normally, where I can't do that with other people. And I know my girlfriend has a problem with that, and it's just, I talked to her about this. It's just the way things are with me, But I feel like I could do that here because right now I'm just sitting by myself in my room in front of a microphone with my, my recorder going. So it's a little bit different. So I can kind of open up because I'm by myself. But what I want to talk about is why I hate the month of October. Now, the fall season to me just brings a lot of bad memories. A lot of bad memories. Things from my past that, you just can't erase. I went through a 5-year breakup that started at Halloween with my, with the girl I actually moved down to New Jersey for. She ended up sleeping with some guy at a Halloween party that I went to in Philadelphia while I was at the same party. And I found this out days later. I had no idea because I was with my group of friends that I worked with at Starbucks. We all went to the same party. We all worked for the same company. Meanwhile, I was there having a good time, mingling with my buddies. She was upstairs sleeping around with some guy that I guess she was talking to, or I don't even know at the time if she met him at the party, but it was fucked up. I found out days later, and before you know it, she's in my house, and she's telling me we got to take a break. And, when someone tells you need to take a break, pretty much you're done. You're broken up. So I was devastated over that, and then she ended up cheating on me continuously with the same guy and random guys, a couple of guys it was. So that happened, in October, okay, several years ago. But October to me, I don't hate the fall season. I love some aspects of the fall season. I love the cool weather. I love the seasonal beers, the pumpkin beers. I love pumpkin. I love just the feeling of the fall season. It's a nice, cool, crisp air. This is a different feeling compared to other seasons. But mainly, like I said, a lot of my bad memories and a lot of things that are never going to leave my mind because I'm always thinking about them when this time of the year rolls around. And what I want to talk about, I really haven't discussed with many people. And you guys should be very fortunate that I'm actually going to be discussing this. But when I lived in Jersey, obviously if you've been subscribed here, I worked for Starbucks as a general manager. I was, GM for 5 years. I was king of the mountain. I did everything I wanted. I did anything I wanted. I had the money rolling in. I had the nice car. I had the bachelor pad. I was living with one of my good friends. And, we had everything going for us. Everything. You name it, it was done. Okay, we had it all. And I was living big, I was having fun, and I was young. I was single and young. And one night, we and me and actually a bunch of other guys, we went ghost hunting. Okay, now if you guys know me personally, I love the paranormal. One of my favorite shows on TV is Ghost Adventures with Zach Bagans. I watch that show religiously every weekend when it's on. I watch every episode on Friday if it's a new episode. I just love the paranormal field. So I was interested in doing something like that. I went on eBay and I bought paranormal ghost equipment, EMF detector that picks up magnetic fields, and a voice recorder, and this and that. Spent about $300 on ghost equipment just because I wanted to try and do that myself. So one night we decided on investigating a graveyard in South Jersey that was reportedly one of the more haunted places in South Jersey. Now, the tale of this graveyard was there's a little girl that actually haunts this graveyard that you can hear playing the violin. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but this caught my attention. And before we actually left to go drive to the graveyard, my friend's mother told me, listen, if you're going to be doing something like this, take a crucifix with you, take a cross, because you don't want anything following you back home. And I refused at the time. I'm like, you know what, I'm good. I don't need it, okay? I don't know why I said that, but I did. And, you know, when I tell you what happened, you're going to be like, JD, you should have took the crucifix, okay? So we get to the graveyard, and, you know, we pick up voices that I went back and found on the recorder during the 3-hour investigation that we did. My roommate, James, at the time, doesn't have a sense of smell, but on this night, he actually smelled fresh roses. And this was in the middle of October. You know, there's no roses blooming when it's 40 degrees in South Jersey at 12 o'clock midnight. You know, it's impossible. On this night, he smelled roses. So, we caught a bunch of stuff. One of my other guys seen a shadow roaming back and forth, walking over a grave. It was a fun night. It was, you know, it was something I wanted to experience, and I got what I wanted. Okay. But what happened afterwards is something that I honestly believe correlates with me not taking the crucifix and actually going into a graveyard after hours, which is pretty much illegal, and I disturbed those who were resting there. I honestly believe something followed me home, and what happened after that was a complete snowball effect that pretty much devastated me and ruined my life for the remainder of that year leading into, you know, January, February, March. And I couldn't stand what was going on. Okay? I would go into work the next week, and I'm thinking I'm starting my shift. All of a sudden, I just feel this sense of worry come over me. I walk in there, and I just sense that, you know, something's not right here. It's not like a normal day at work. I feel very worried. Something's just out of place. There's nothing, you know, something's, you know, wrong in the air. Little did I know, there was a detective waiting in the back room. Before I even clocked in, I was being escorted out of my job at Starbucks at the Tropicana Casino in Atlantic City. I was being escorted out by a detective. I was handcuffed, and I was thrown into a back of a police car, being, you know, taken to jail. I was thrown in a holding cell for 9 hours. The girl I was dating at the time was actually on my shift. We worked together, we dated, and she was crying because she had no idea what the hell was going on. I was arrested because they accused me of stealing money from the company over a 2-month period. One of my other friends, my roommate at the time, he was also arrested at their other location for the same thing. Now, I was taken to a holding cell. I was locked up for 9 hours, crying my eyes out. You got animals across the way screaming and banging on the fucking walls. I didn't know what to do, and all I wanted was one phone call to call my mother, who was in New York, 2.5 hours away. You know, and they didn't give me my phone call until an hour before they actually let me go. You know, that's all I wanted was one phone call to my mom. I get out of the holding cell, and I immediately call my mother. I call my girlfriend at the time, who I was dating. She starts crying hysterically over the phone, you know, and at that time, what she told me, it made me feel good. Everything that had happened to me that day, spending 9 hours in a holding cell, amongst animals and fucking filth. I got out of that holding cell. As soon as I called my mother, I was relieved. As soon as I called my girlfriend at the time, she was telling me things that made me believe, you know what? This girl actually cares about me. She loves me. And I felt at ease, even though my fucking world was coming crumbling down upon me. A couple weeks later, I was dumped by this girl who supposedly was there for me. Just completely ignored me. No longer answered my texts. No longer answered my phone calls. She actually broke up with me and didn't say one word. Okay? Her friends were mocking me on MySpace. MySpace was big at the time. Her friends were mocking me on MySpace, telling me I'm a loser. She actually got back with her ex-boyfriend, who she eventually got pregnant from and had a son. Okay? She had a son. So I was fired, and then I was dumped. Okay? And I'm not done yet. And by the way, the gameplay you're watching is two beast gameplays. I know there's one on Standoff, and I think there's one on Hijack. I'm not really watching because I'm just, recording my vocals right now. But, so I was dumped and I was fired from my job. So that's 2 strikes. She actually reached out to me in January and apologized. In January. She dumped me in October, gave me the silent treatment, didn't tell me why she dumped me, after everything I just been through, and apologizes to me. Now, obviously, I asked why, and she still didn't give me an answer. She said she was stupid. Yeah, you're stupid. You had a guy who you lied to, and honestly and genuinely cared about you, but yet you just treat him like shit and get back with one of the biggest pieces of shit that I've ever come across in my entire life. Her ex-boyfriend was a complete fucking loser. And I didn't know why at the time. And here I am, I had nobody, I had, barely any friends. I'm living in Jersey by myself. Everybody that I know personally and closely is living up in New York. My family's up in New York. So, I try and get back on my feet. I was denied unemployment in South Jersey. I don't know why. I was denied unemployment. So, I had no money coming in. One night, I met this girl, and I go to pick her up, and she lived 25 minutes from where I was living in Jersey, right? We went out to dinner, and this is after everything happened, all right? This was probably around late November, early December. I met this girl, took her out to dinner, and we had a decent time. I mean, it wasn't the greatest date, but, it was someone that I could chill with, just be friends with. Took her out to dinner. In my area, and then I drove her back home. So obviously we went out to dinner, I had a couple glasses of wine, and that was it. 2 glasses of wine. I'm okay to drive my vehicle. I'm okay to drive my vehicle. I drive her back home, she gets home safely. And at the time I had a 2006 red Mustang Coupe, okay? Right now I'm driving a 2008 black Mustang Coupe, okay? It's my baby. But at the time I was driving a red one. I traded the red one in for a black one after what I'm about to tell you. Dropped her off home, and she lives in a very, very wealthy part of South Jersey, Linwood, New Jersey. I'm driving back home, and apparently I was doing 40 in a 25, okay? I was doing 15 miles over the speed limit. Cop follows me, pulls me over. Now, I didn't know he was immediately following me, but he pulled me over because when you're in a Mustang, if you drive a Mustang, you could be doing 25, and if you could be doing 40 rather, and it feels like you're doing 20. That's how smooth the ride is. Okay, I could be doing 100 miles an hour in my car driving down the New Jersey Turnpike. It feels like I'm doing 70. If you're not looking at the gauge, it feels like you're doing 70. So I was doing 40 miles an hour in a 25 zone. I got pulled over. I didn't know he was following me. Pulls me over, and I rolled down my window, and immediately, I don't know why, but immediately he thought I was drinking. Because I'm driving a red Mustang, a red sports car. He immediately thought I was drinking and trying to cause trouble. He ushers me out of the car and gives me a sobriety test on the side of the road. Follow this light. Follow the flashlight with your eyes. Walk a straight line. Count backwards from 100, or whatever the fuck they asked me to do. At that point, he took me in on a DUI arrest. And I'm like, why? I'm not drunk. All because he smelt wine or liquor on my breath. Okay? They impounded my car, took me to the police station to take a breathalyzer test, and that was that. Now, I get to the police station, and the breathalyzer machine is not working. I sat in the police station for 2 hours. 2 hours. off 2 glasses of wine, okay? I'm not drunk anymore. Or even if I was drunk, I'm not going to be drunk. I wasn't drunk to begin with. But he had me take the breathalyzer test, and I don't know the results of the test, but in the end, he said I failed. So I failed the sobriety test, and I failed the breathalyzer test. Now, my roommate had to come pick me up, okay? Luckily, he was still around, and he didn't go off somewhere. He came to pick me up along with one of, my other friends. They both came together, picked me up. My car was impounded. That was that, okay? Long story short, I had my license suspended for 3 months, okay? 3 months. I had to hire a lawyer to try and get me out of this mess. So I had to pay the lawyer $500 in South Jersey just to go to court, and they end up telling me anyway, listen, your license is suspended for 3 months, okay? With the DUI arrest came $3,000 worth of fines. So not only was I fired from Starbucks, not only was I dumped in one of the worst ways possible, I was also taken into custody, arrested on a DUI arrest for something I should have never been arrested for. All because I felt lonely, wanted to take out this girl that I met, and that's that. I paid the price. This all goes back and all stems from that one time I wanted to go ghost hunting. And my friend's mother told me, JD, take the crucifix. I refused to take the crucifix. I believe all this stemmed from that one incident. Something evil, something bad, something negative followed me home from the cemetery, latched on to me, and had my world just come caving in on me. Because there's no way. I believe in the afterlife. I believe in paranormal activity. But there's no way me being fired, me being dumped by a girl I was seeing for 7 months, and then me getting a DUI arrest, all in a span of 2 weeks, happens. It just happened. And I honestly believe it stems from that one incident. October in itself has just been a bad month. I've been dumped. I've been cheated on. Many a heartbreak in October. And I have stories of Christmas too. When Christmas rolls around, I'll tell you guys in one of these commentaries as usual what my worst Christmas experience was. Why I was young and stupid, but this instance and this story really nobody knows about, and it all happened in the month of October. And along with the other disappointments that I've suffered in October, obviously I'm an Atlanta Braves fan. They never do anything good for me. They never bring any positivity into my life. They're always a failure in October. They haven't gone out of the NLDS in God knows how long. There's always a great team that they put on the field during the season, but as soon as October rolls around, fuck JD, he's a Braves fan. He's not getting to the NLCS, he's not getting to the World Series, It's just the way it is. And there's other things that have happened in October that's, heartache-wise, where, I'm not going to sit here and talk about it because I don't want to make myself upset, or I don't want to, talk about it just for whatever reason, but October in itself has been very, very negative to me. The season of fall has been negative to me, and this is why I don't care for these seasons, these holidays. I don't care for Thanksgiving. I don't care for Christmas. It's pretty much, I hole up during October up until March. Do my thing, play my games, and just concentrate on me. And then hopefully when baseball season roams around again in March and April, that's when things get better. That's when I'll start feeling good again. But during the winter months and the fall months, I'm just not happy. I'm just not happy. But I figured I'd tell you guys that story. I know this is going on 20 minutes. If you made it this far, I greatly appreciate it. And if you guys want to show your support for this channel and for this commentary, you guys know what to do. Like, favorite, share, all that good shit. I don't need to tell you. Team JD, thank you for the support. I love each and every one of you guys. Call of Duty Ghosts is going to be a massive hit on this channel, and I'm going to bring you the most engaging content I possibly can. Alright, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the commentary and the gameplay. I'll talk to you soon. I got some good shit coming up for the rest of the month, but you know what? I'll talk to you guys soon, alright? Take care.
Alright. Let's get on while the internet gets turned on.